what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm in a special filming spot location because guess what? I have a special mid-size 3-row SUV. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Lexus TX 500H. I'm not done yet. F Sport Performance. But before we get into this all-wheel drive performance 3-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So Lexus, they really were the ones that put the mark in the auto industry when they came out with the first real crossover luxury SUV known as the RX. Well, of course, because demand of crossover SUVs is so large, Lexus expanded their lineup. The TX is actually their newest unique model in the lineup. Came out just a couple years ago. This really goes directly against the Acura MDX. Now what's fascinating is the MDX is also a 3-row and it's midsize, but exterior-wise, it's a little bit smaller, which of course makes it smaller on the interior. One thing that Lexus really wanted to focus on with this 3-row, being a midsize, is still giving you a lot of room in that 3rd row. But with this also having the F Sport Performance badge, they wanted to bring some real performance to it. So what I want to find out is, can it compete with the mighty Acura MDX Type S? They both go about it a little different way, but at the end, they may be the perfect rivals. Let's go ahead, let's dive into this TX and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, I love this color. It's called Crystal Blue Mica, or Mica Blue, and it almost looks black. This is that color that on the sister brand Toyota, because remember, Lexus is the premium brand of Toyota, it's called Blueprint. But I'm really loving the metallic blue. It really glimmers like a diamond in the Florida sun. Now you're going to notice on the TX the very angular LED daytime running lamp, all integrated into one housing. Very interesting how they made the extension portion, and then the actual headlight itself is in a smaller section of the housing. Everything blacked out on the interior. Working our way down, you do get LED fog lamps. And because this is an F Sport 500H performance, you're gonna get some gloss black trim. Now the good news is that you have the LED fog lamps. The bad news is there's no other purpose to this area but to give it some style. So let me know if this deserves a zonk or not. Another thing, you'll notice how you have this metallic silver that goes from driver's side all the way to passenger side. But I really love the way they did the headlight housing. Like I said, very modern, very sporty. Now, as we come across what they call now the body spindle grille, you have that aluminum trim up top, kind of intersects nicely with the headlight housing. Then you're gonna notice how you have your spindle body design, forward-facing camera, some gloss black accents, and then that lower sort of mouth opening is almost surrounded totally by this metallic silver finish. Definitely the silver gives it a nice pop of color, fully functional on the bottom and in the middle. But let me know what you think about the face of this TX compared to the MDX. Now, as we rise up, you do have your Lexus badge looking good, and then very clean on the style, just very smooth flowing lines, no hard, like crisp edges. Now, as we come around the bend, I absolutely am digging these wheels. You have these gunmetal, metallic gray with some gloss black, freaking fantastic looking wheel. The size of the wheel, 22 inches in diameter. Peeking behind, it's kind of hard to see. You do have 6-piston Brembo calipers with the Lexus name, and these rotors are 15.7 inches in diameter. Just to put it in perspective for you, that's the same size diameter brake rotor that I have on my Shelby GT350R, and this is a crossover SUV. Tires are 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and of course we have all-wheel drive, but we also have rear-wheel steer. That's another component that really you only find that on sports cars. It's on this crossover SUV. The other thing I absolutely love, everything is painted. No flat black, no gloss black. Thank you, Lexus. But let me know what you think about the wheels. I think they look spectacular with this blue. Now coming down the side, you are gonna get an F Sport Performance badge. And then you'll notice that we have black on the mirror caps. I like the way they blacked out on the trim. LED turn signals. Even the trim, they finally listened to me. They finally listened to me. This is why some people say, Joe, why do you keep zonking the same things? Eventually they will listen. Blacked out trim, the black chrome trim. This is normally bright shiny along the top. It's black chrome. And then you'll see that we have the black, gloss black roof rails. It would be nice to not even have the roof rails at all. Just give it a nice clean roof style to it, especially because this is sporty, right? Door handles, you don't pull on them, you actually push the button behind that opens up the door. Everything is painted. Working our way towards the rear, nice size quarter window. See the dark chrome? The one thing I'm gonna have to zonk is, this is gloss black. I don't like it, it's too much gloss black. But spinning around the back, you got a stubby roof spoiler. I just wish it was a little bit more prominent because we gotta get rid of this. This has gotta be tucked underneath there. I'm digging the way that they spell out the Lexus name. Let me know how you feel about that if you miss having the badge. I'm okay with them spelling it out. Full LED lighting all the way across. You got your TX 500H. Yes, this is a hybrid with the direct 4 all-wheel drive. And then we're gonna work it down to ground level. Just a very simple, clean, lower bumper area. No exposed exhaust like you would find on an MDX Type S, and a little bit of that metallic silver finish. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if it can compete with the MDX. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath the hood, a totally different approach to what the MDX is doing. What we have is a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4 paired with the electric motors to produce 366 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. Now, before you get all upset that this has a 4-cylinder turbo, just remember that's more horsepower and more torque than the Acura MDX. It uses a 6-speed automatic transmission, traditional torque converter automatic transmission. It is short by 4 gears though, because the MDX Type S has a 10-speed automatic. All-wheel drive gives us 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, quarter mile in 14.4 seconds at 98 miles an hour. Top speed is governed to 116 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 5,119 pounds. MPGs, way better than any MDX Type S. 27 in the city, 28 on the highway, and you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. So like I said, it may have an unconventional setup here when it comes to performance, but it's definitely got the numbers. Why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it run. All right guys, we are inside this 2025 Lexus TX 500H F-Sport Performance. I know it's a mouthful, but it definitely brings a lot to the table. I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a new SUV. I don't want full size. I want a midsize, but I want it to have some really good usable room, and I also like some nice on-throttle fun. How much is this one? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right at $77,000. Very equivalent to what an Acura MDX Type S costs. So this could be the perfect comparison. Let's see what the Lexus brings to the door panels. I personally love this style. Soft touch material. You got the Mark Levinson 21 speaker premium sound system. I love the two-tone with that off-white. And then down below, the door pocket is a little tight, so maybe just 4 hot pockets and a bottle of Pepsi Clear to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same story. The soft touch, this Alcantara is really nice. That dark gray trim, no gloss black. The MDX Type S has a bunch of gloss black. Don't like that. Down below, your passenger has the perfect Hamburglar storage area. So you could put your Mickey D's burgers down there, slide on in. You're going to be greeted to 14 inches of pure pleasure, pure visual pleasure. All touchscreen. You got your different drive modes, your seat controls. You could do everything from the infotainment system. And this is the latest in Lexus's multimedia software because you could set up the different driver profiles. Let's do camera 360. So you got your 360 camera set up here. Nice resolution. I'm going to throw it into reverse. Backup camera, same story. You got your trajectory, you got your 360. And we're right back where we started. Technically, that's where we started. All the other controls, except for the actual temperature, are within the screen. But you do have heated seats, ventilated seats, 2 stages of heated steering wheel. This is how you adjust your blower fan. You can also drag it as well. Real volume knob, which is nice. And then you have these cleanly integrated AC vents. Uh-oh, somebody forgot to take this off. This is part of the shipping film. Ooh, there's just something pleasurable about taking that off. So you have a little bit of gloss black, but you got 3 USB-Cs, wireless charging, a place for a Twinkie, and then look at this. Open the door, what do we got? A 12-volt, and oh, there's my radar detector, my Valentine one. I don't leave home without it. And then you could close it up. 2 cup holders. This is gonna control your 6-speed automatic transmission, torque converter automatic transmission. Love the nice trim, the silver. You got a place here for a small apple. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. 2-tone, and then you open this up. Felt lining. You can literally put a Snoopy snow cone machine in there. I used to love my Snoopy snow cone machine. The sad news is that they probably have an app for that today where kids could pretend to have a real Snoopy snow cone machine. They like do it on their phone. What in the heck is the world coming to with these damn apps? Seats, the leather, the F Sport logo there. Look at these seats. They look like they're out of an RCF. The Alcantara, full electric assist, nice bolstering. And I personally like the off-white. I know your kids are probably gonna spill their Kool-Aid and all sorts of juice boxes and stuff all over it, but it looks damn good. And then up top, you got your panoramic sunroof with the power shade. Mark Levinson 21 speakers. There's speakers everywhere. And you do have a digital rearview mirror. That's a jungle. Yes, there's cars driving in the jungle. Come on over here to the business side. I want to show you behind the very sporty wheel in this 500h F Sport Performance. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have a nice aluminum sill plate with the F Sport badge to welcome you. And then the pedal box is right out of a freaking race car. Aluminum dead pedal, brake, and throttle. Got a little TX embroidery on the floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. Love the seat controls. Multi-positionable. I'm 6 feet tall. Feels fantastic in here. Steering wheel, Lexus does some of the best. The perforated leather, the smooth leather, the F Sport Performance badge. Flat gray on all the switchgear. You do have paddles to go up and down that 6-speed automatic. And it is a power tilting and telescoping wheel. Then you got that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster there that looks so good. It actually changes up when you go into your different modes. Look at that. We're going sports, so that tack is going to be across the top there while we're going through the gears. And there's a head-up display, so they got you covered. But let's get into the mid-row and third row and see if the TX beats the heck out of the MDX. All right, guys, mid-row and third row time. Now, I love the way they did the seats, just like up front in the mid-row. The thing I don't like, well, it's borderline. I'm gonna give it half a zonk. I just want it just a little bit wider for a human arm. Backs of the seats, the soft material, nice large pockets. Here's what you wanna do is you wanna put a mirror back there, especially if you're gonna be driving around kids, put a mirror back there. Not to make them narcissistic, because trust me, the internet already makes them, or I should say social media already makes them very narcissistic. But you keep that mirror back there and you have your child love themselves. Like, actually love themselves the way they look and not afraid to be out in public and put a paper bag over their head. That's gonna make them a better person if they love themselves. Because remember, you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. That's something I tell Steven all the time. Thank you, Lexus. Look at this. 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats. You got your AC controls back here, real easy to use. You have your 2 USB-Cs and a place where you could put, I would say, 4 York peppermint patties. And then down below, you got a home power source. You even have a little nice center console area with these 2 large cup holders. And the great news is if you don't want it, get rid of it. There we go. Seats. First of all, we got our manual sunshades. That armrest that's almost perfect. Almost. That's why it only got half a zonk. Now, the seats do slide, and they do recline. And what I'm going to do is, since I removed that center console area, we're going to do this all in one shot. Steven didn't want to do it, but I said, listen, Be confident, Steven. You could do it. We could do this. Press the button. Look at that. Moves right out of the way. And then I'm going to jump into the third row. And you can't do this on an MDX. I'll tell you that right now. What I just did, even by taking out the center console on an MDX, because you could do that too, there's not enough room to move around. Back here, I got my AC vents. I could actually recline the seat even more. I mean, look at this. Try to do that in your MDX. You're gonna have to break your neck to get it any further back because the seats just don't do that. I have USB-Cs, and these things here are actually handles to pull yourself into the third row. And look how my knees are actually not too bad, especially when you lean the seat back. My God, really, really nice setup in here. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see who could haul more mail, this or the MDX. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, hit the button, nice electric assist. You're gonna be greeted to quite a usable amount of space. How much room do we have? 20 cubic feet of space with that third row up. Now, what's nice is that if you look on the passenger side, you got a nice little nook for a cup of joe. This opens up. Little bit of storage. You can line up your Twinkies in here. Usually about 2 baker's dozen unless somebody starts eating them early. I do like the way they have the aluminum skid plates in here so that your kids, when they drag their crap out, don't scratch all the plastic trim. These are your power buttons for the third row. Of course, you got to have your first aid kit. It has little Lexus RCF Band-Aids. And you got a home power source. Now to put down the third row, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, one touch operation, thank God. It is a little on the slow side. I mean, you could probably go make yourself a sandwich and then come back and as you can see, finally they go down. Now, it is very flat, 57 cubic feet of space. You fold down that mid row, you go from 57 to 97 cubic feet of space. Plus, look at the way you have the nice soft touch material on the armrest like I was showing you. You have your USB-C right by that handle and the switch gear for that power recline on the third row. So they really spoil the hell out of the third row passenger. Trust me, the MDX has none of that. Absolutely none of it, and less room. But why don't we go ahead, it's that time. Let's go on throttle in this TX and see how it drives. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Lexus TX 500h F Sport Performance. If you're ready, I'm ready. We're in sport mode. On throttle, here we go. So right away, that 6-speed drops down and we are off and running. And this is really where it's gonna surprise you, because you would think with it being an SUV, it's gonna be boring, it's gonna be bland, it's got a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. But with the electric hybrid setup and the rear wheel steer, it actually handles really, really well. Love the way in sport mode you got that very specific dash instrumentation setup. And the feedback, as you can see, is really good through the wheel. Now, getting to that 14-inch infotainment system is well within reach. We got that wonderful digital rear view mirror. I got the head-up display. And there's just plenty of room in here. Plenty of room. Not only in the front, the middle, or like I showed you, that third row as well. But let's go on throttle from a dead stop. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Look at the shifts from the 6-speed. Love the torque converter 6-speed automatic. The all-wheel drive is phenomenal. No slip, all grip. And the fact that you're not getting a bunch of fake sound. Now, you could go into active sound control and you could actually adjust where you want that sound level and even shut it off, which is cool. But the thing that helps this SUV is that hybrid motor. Having the motor gives you the instant torque that normally you wouldn't get with an inline 4 turbocharged engine, and definitely transforms this Lexus TX. Now, compared to the MDX Type S, it is stronger off the line. It really is. But like I said, this SUV is gonna surprise you, especially when you get to the twisty bits. Now, don't forget, we also have adaptive suspension, all four corners, and we have those massive, absolutely ginormous brakes on this thing. 6 piston calipers up front on a Lexus TX. That is very, very impressive. If you want to manually shift with the 6-speed, you take the electric shifter, you pull it back. Now I'm on M, and now I'm going to use the paddles. You do have a gear indicator in the center. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Paddles are very, very easy to reach, and it does allow quick upshifts and quick downshifts. And I love the way that it blips the throttle to help keep the chassis stable. That to me is really, really showing the engineering behind this Lexus TX. Now, is it as fine-tuned as a Acura MDX? No, it's not. But I think the key word here is you're gonna be very surprised. But let's get to some good twisty bits here. Are you ready? On throttle. Look at this. Nice. Dab of the brakes. Stays in that torque curve. It's really gonna surprise you. And then on the brakes, look at this, nice. Into this tight right-hander. And what's great is with the all-wheel drive, you just power right out of it. And while I'm doing this, I'm sitting in all this great comfort. The seats are so awesome. They hold you in place. They allow you to really get connected with the TX. And even though, like I said, it is top heavy, you're not getting a bunch of body roll. When you get on the brakes, the nose isn't like diving to the asphalt. That's gonna allow you to have confidence as you're going down your favorite twisty road to go pick up the kids at school, because that's what's so versatile about this thing, is that you're getting good fuel economy, you're able to tow, and you can go through the twisty bits. Plus, you could do all the other things in your daily life. Go to the grocery store, take the kids to practice, all those different things. And then everywhere you're touching, the materials, love the way you got the wireless charging, all the connectivity, the Mark Levinson 21 speaker sound system in here. Just arranged very, very well. Plus the panoramic sunroof. And the fact that the mid-row and the front row has heated and ventilated seats, and then of course that third row, like I showed you, has heated seats. Now going down the road, that sportiness, even in sport mode, very comfortable. Not a lot of road noise, definitely not a lot of wind noise. So the sound deadening material is good. The acoustic windshield, the thickness of the side glass. They really did a bang-up job on this 500h F Sport Performance. It is a bit of a sleeper. You think it's not going to be living up to its performance name, but it definitely has that performance quality to it. Now, is it as performance-oriented as the MDX Type S? No. But remember, this brings a lot of other things that the MDX does not have, especially when it comes to room in that third row. But just really, really nice and balanced, smooth. You definitely don't feel like you're driving a mid-size 3-row SUV with a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Because of the amount of torque you have, because of the rear wheel steer and the all-wheel drive. It definitely transforms this whole package. But just really, really smooth to drive. All of those different things. Obviously, we have some lobster traps in the road. Nothing new here. That's what happens in Florida. You never have a dull moment. That's for sure. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what this Lexus TX 500h F Sport Performance is bringing. We're gonna get back to where it all started. Look at this. Nice. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways with this 2025 Lexus TX 500h F Sport Performance. Definitely got to thank everybody at Lexus USA for giving us access to this press fleet vehicle. Now let me know what you think. Does this compete squarely against the Acura MDX Type S? And would you rather have this over an Acura MDX Type S? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. We're getting attacked by choppers. I'm sure you can hear them in the background, but you know what? Show must go on. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. He flies like a bird whenever he is filming. It's almost like he levitates. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.